When you think about the global race for AI dominance, a few names probably pop into your head, right? OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, the usual suspects. But what if a homegrown startup from India could actually go toe-to-toe with these billion-dollar giants? Well, that's the big question we're diving into today.
All right, let's get right into it, because this whole story really kicks off with a pretty bold, pretty dramatic claim. So this really sets the stage perfectly. On one side of the ring, you have the global titans, ChatGPT, Gemini, models that have been trained on, let's be honest, mostly English data from the web. But on the other side, you've got Sarvam AI, which is laser-focused on the incredible diversity of languages and documents found right inside India. And here's the kicker. When it comes to understanding that local context, the home team isn't just competing, they're winning.
And look, this isn't just me saying it. The Financial Express put it in black and white. Sarvam AI is beating Google's Gemini and OpenAI's ChatGPT right on their home turf. Now, a headline like that raises a massive question. How? How is a relatively new Indian startup managing to outmaneuver some of the biggest, best-funded tech companies on the planet?
Well, to really get how they're pulling this off, we first have to understand who they are and what they're trying to do. And let me tell you, their mission is a big one.
Their entire mission is built around this core idea: sovereign AI. Now, this isn't just about national pride or, waving a flag. It's way deeper than that. This is a strategic move. It's about building AI that is self-reliant, that keeps India's data secure, and maybe most importantly, an AI that actually understands the unique cultural and linguistic soul of the country.
And this isn't just a dream on a whiteboard. It has serious backing. We are talking about $41 million in a Series A funding round. That is the largest ever for an Indian AI startup. When you see major players like Lightspeed and Khosla Ventures putting their money down, you know something big is happening.
And it turns out, this isn't just an Indian thing. Listen to what Vinod Khosla says here. And this is a guy who was an early backer of OpenAI, so he knows the space. He's saying that countries all over the world are realizing the strategic importance of this. His quote says it all: "We need companies like Sarvam AI." This really frames Sarvam not just as a cool startup, but as a crucial player in a new global trend.
Okay, so we've got the why and the who. Now, for the really fun part, the how. What's the secret sauce? What's the actual technical strategy that's giving Sarvam this incredible edge?
It all comes down to what they call a full-stack approach. And really, this is their superpower. Just look at these steps. They're not just grabbing some open-source model and tweaking it a little bit. No way. They're doing the whole shebang, from the deep foundational research to training custom models on uniquely Indian data, all the way up to building the platforms for businesses and the final apps that people use. That end-to-end control is everything.
And all that hard work, that full-stack control, has created some seriously impressive tech. So let's meet the stars of the show. There's Sarvam Vision, which is an absolute master at understanding documents, and then there's Bulbul, their model for creating just incredibly natural-sounding voice.
And we're not just talking hype here. We have the receipts, the hard data. Take a look at this benchmark for optical character recognition. That's OCR. Sarvam Vision hits an 84.3% accuracy. As you can clearly see, that's not just a little better, it's significantly better than both Gemini and ChatGPT when it comes to these complex India-specific tasks.
And he knows taking notice? The people who follow this stuff for a living. I love this quote from Didi Das, a well-known tech commentator, because he straight up admits he was skeptical at first. He says, "I was wrong about Sarvam. He thought focusing just on Indic languages was a bad move. But the results totally won him over. Now he says they have the best models for Indian languages and that it's actually really valuable. That's a massive turnaround."
But look, amazing tech is one thing. The real test, the real question is, can you actually use it? Does it solve real problems for real businesses and real people? So how is Sarvam turning all this raw power into actual products?
Well, meet Samvad. This is their conversational AI platform, and it is built from the ground up for India. I mean, it supports 11 different Indian languages, it can do real-time speech-to-speech translation, and it even gets Hinglish, that natural mix of Hindi and English that so many people speak every single day. Think of it as India's answer to tools like Google's Dialogflow, but one that actually understands how Indians talk. And this is not just a cool demo. It's delivering huge results for big businesses. Just listen to this from the Chief Digital Officer at Tata Capital, a huge financial services company. They're using Sarvam's tech to reach more customers, to literally break down language barriers, and to build stronger relationships. That is real bottom-line impact.
But to really have an impact at a national level, you need to scale. And that's where a giant like Microsoft comes into the picture. By making their Indic voice models available on Microsoft Azure, Sarvam is plugging into a massive, world-class cloud infrastructure. This lets them scale up their operations, and this part is so important. It empowers thousands of developers all across India to start building the next wave of AI apps using Sarvam's powerful tech.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second, because as incredible as Sarvam's story is, it's not happening in a bubble. It's actually part of a much bigger national ambition that's playing out as we speak.
This timeline really puts it all into perspective, right? You see the big global moments. You've got OpenAI's first models, Google's innovations. But then look at the flurry of activity in India just recently. The government kicks off the India AI mission, and then boom, Sarvam AI bursts onto the scene. Their rise isn't some random event. It's part of a very deliberate, coordinated push.
See, Sarvam isn't climbing this mountain all by themselves. They're getting a huge boost from a national strategy called the India AI Mission. This thing is massive. It's a government plan to build an entire AI ecosystem with a focus on creating models for all 22 official languages, and even giving startups access to the super expensive computing power they need to even be in the game.
And all of this, the technology, the funding, the national strategy, it all brings us to one big, final question. Sarvam's success is basically a blueprint for what a sovereign AI can achieve. So, as this technology gets woven deeper and deeper into a nation's economy, its security, its very identity, is this a path that every country is eventually going to have to follow? It's definitely something to think about.